Well, here we are again. This is another one of those expanded pots, and this time I've added a lot more of the red iron oxide. I want to experiment and play really with the different surface textures, but also with the glaze that's going to go on the surface. I want to see what effect it has. Now, I can understand that the iron will leach through and affect the ash glaze. I think what I'm going to put on the surface of this is a willow ash glaze, which is a more transparent glaze, and I should get some quite interesting effects with the ash running and with the iron running and leaching out into the glaze, causing sort of rivulets. That's what I would imagine would happen. But when you place this big pot, 20 inches in height, thrown in one piece, 24 inches with your arm trying to get right down to the bottom to lift the clay, and then when you expand it, it drops by about 4 or 5 inches, so you end up with a pot that's got a really nice belly, good foot, and then a strong finish at the top in terms of the kind of lip that you want to put on it. But you know, this pot will probably go into my Olsen fast fire kiln, which will fire for 14-15 hours. So it's not that fast to firing. It's quite quick to get it up to 1,000 and then to reduce. But then what I try and do is play around with the reduction and the oxidation, alternating it with the fireboxes. Therefore I can really play with the pots that are inside the kiln with the flame contact or the non-flame contact, which is what I want on some of the glazes that don't like the ash to sit on them. This one will be placed quite close to the firebox entry into the kiln, so there'll be a lot of flame hitting it and splitting off it, and then there'll be a couple of other ones around the side of the other firebox. So you know, you're going to get a lot of action from the flame hitting one side of this pot. So I have to be careful with the kind of glaze that I put on it. It will be mixed as a static ash glaze, and again I've developed these glazes over time, but you know, reading Nigel Wood's book on glazes, reading Phil Rogers' book, reading lots and lots of books and articles, etc., gives you a good basis and a good insight into the chemistry of glazes. And then basically it's playing, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to be an alchemist. You've got to play with materials, and you know, the chemistry, it's a little bit like baking. You put a little bit of this in, a little bit of that in, you measure it up, and 442 or 221 or whatever principles that you want to use, and then you record it, and then you fire it and see what comes out. You can add more clay, or you can add more alumina to it if it's too runny. You can add more feldspar, or you can add more of the nepheline cyanite, etc., or more ash to create a more runny glaze. So you know, it's all chemistry, and that's what it's about. Anyway, I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to go home. So I hope this has been entertaining for you, and I look forward to showing you the finished results in around about 4 or 5 weeks' time. Take care.